Hello and welcome to another IELTS speaking practice video by Johnny. And here today is the 27th of August. Class IELTS 38 for students. They are doing their regular speaking practice. So are you ready, class? Microphone on, please. Okay.
Yep.
So let's do a part 1. IELTS part 1, topic number 27, primary school. Trường cấp 1. So, primary school. So, Miss Van, please. Did you like your primary school? Or was it terrible? Or was it actually good? Did you like your primary school? Miss Van, hello. Yes.
Actually, I don't remember the time that I go to primary school.
Like
But
it
I
was
guess,
a long time ago.
that I have a really good time because at that rate, you didn't need to learn very much, but the most important thing is you make friends and have a good eat and have a good
what?
sleep.
Have a good what?
Good eat.
Okay. So how about
You eat well and sleep well and make friends and have fun.
Exactly. There wasn't anything back then. So how about you, Young? Did you like your primary school? Was those days or years good? Or was it terrible?
So when I was young, I've been to a lot of primary school because my health changed a lot. Because I have
My
to move my health a
family,
lot.
gia đình tôi, my family changes. My family moves a lot.
Yeah, my
Nhà
family
tôi
moves.
di chuyển rất nhiều. My family moves a lot.
My family moved a lot, so I don't really like my primary schools as much because it have a lot of problems.
There was a lot of problem. There were a lot of problems. Like it has
a lot of problems.
It has why. There were a lot of problems. Trong quá khứ là there was. And there were a lot of problems. Continue, please. Continue.
There was a lot of problems. Like I'm in the north, so myself different. So I'm sometimes being bullied by that boy.
So sometimes you were bullied by that boy. To be bullied, bị bắt nạt. To be bullied by someone. So the noun form is bully. Kẻ bắt nạt. And the verb form is to bully someone. Bắt nạt ai đó. Okay, good. So how about you, Mr. Nguyen? Did you like your primary school?
I don't have any idea about my primary school.
You don't remember, right?
I don't like it. I think I...
Sorry, can you say it?
Like,
Yes, Nguyen? Did you like your primary school?
Gap between me don't like and like. So I feel normal about my primary school.
So there was nothing there's nothing special about your primary school, right? Chẳng có gì đặc biệt, right? Okay. Cẩn thận các bạn, coi chừng mấy tiếng ồn background nha. Be careful with background noise. So Nguyen, what was your favorite subject at primary schools? Like maybe math, literature, art, PE, physical education, science, something like that?
Well, I have favorite subject in my primary school is history and science.
History and science.
And I like to know more about science, so I love that subject in my school.
Okay. So you loved the subject in your school, I see. How about you, Young? What was your favorite subject in primary school?
In primary school, I think math is the easiest. So I think math is my favorite subject.
Oh, so it means you must be very good at math.
Yeah, but at that time,
But not now, am I right?
yeah,
You have to say no. Not now.
no.
No, you have to say no. So, what did you dislike most about your primary school, you? Was there any problem?
I think the first is bullier who bully me.
Yeah, in the first
Yeah,
2 years, what happened?
yeah, 2 years. My house far and
My family, nhà của tôi,
không,
nhà có gia đình. My
không, ý đầu
family,
tiên
from my
là
house, my family.
okay, so my family is far. So I've been to class really late, and yeah, I don't really like it. And the third is I'm quite I'm quite stupid at that time.
Don't
So
use the word
I don't really
stupid.
like my primary school
Okay.
actually.
Okay, good. Now, so good. So Thảo, please. I forgot to ask you now. So Miss Thảo, so what was your favorite subject at primary school?
Yeah, actually, in the past, I really liked the subject is math because the math in grade one
It's
is
really
so
easy,
easy,
right?
and yeah, and I really like, and I think math is easy. It's not difficult, but in sau này á thầy, sau này
But
sau
but after sometimes it becomes, sau một khoảng thời gian nó becomes, after sometimes it
yeah, but
after
after
some
some
time
time,
it becomes
I
more
think
difficult.
it become difficult. Yeah,
After some time it become difficult, and so you don't like it, and you didn't like it anymore, right?
yeah,
You have to say yeah, no, I didn't like it anymore. Phải quen đi, tập thôi nó không nhiều hơn để các bạn. Try to say no more, okay? Right, so tell me, how were the teachers in your primary school? The teachers, were they kind to you? Were they so strict? Were they easygoing or something like that? Dễ tính, easygoing. Were they kind to you? Were they mean to you? Xấu tính hay họ có mean không, có xấu tính không? So how were they? How were the teachers in your primary school? Were they helpful? Có hay giúp đỡ hay không? Something like that.
in general, my teacher, I have been study. They also easygoing and
They
really
were easygoing. Tức là quá khứ mà you are trying to describe something that happened in the past. So they were easygoing, yes.
they were easygoing and friendly. They also help me in many things about study in the class, and I really appreciate them.
I really appreciate them, I say. I say. Okay, Nguyen, please. So, how did you travel to your primary school? Did your parents brought you to school? Did your parents brought you to school, or you walked to school?
My parents brought me to school because my home far from there, like 2 kilometers. So I
Oh,
cannot
2
walk
kilometers. That's a
to there.
long way, you know.
Yeah. So I can't walk to school.
Oh. I see. Okay, then tell me. How were the teachers in your primary school, Mr. Nguyen?
I don't know. I think they are like my in my
Yeah, how were they? Come on.
well, they kind of old,
Of
but
course, they were kind of old teachers, I see.
okay.
But what a
I think
problem.
they
If they are old, if they are experienced, they can be very good teachers, you know.
yeah. So I think the age can be 14 and more than 40. 40, more than 40.
More than 40 years old, that's not old. That's okay, that's not too old. 40 cho 40 kêu ta già rồi, trời ơi. Okay, anyway. So, Miss Văn, please. So, how did you travel to your primary school and how were the teachers in your primary school?
My parents brought me to school.
They walked
It's
you.
about-
They walked you to school.
It takes me about 10 minutes to travel from.
It took me,
My-
because past tense, quá khứ. It took me about 10
me.
minutes.
From my home to my school. Whenever my parents were busy and couldn't take me home,
Okay.
they will ask người chạy xe ôm á thầy là cái gì
They
đó
will
ta?
ask they will ask the motorbikers.
Service
It's
motorbike.
Bên nước ngoài nó không có chuyện đó. So there's no people like that. I think a helper. Let's just say a helper. Người giúp đỡ. We will ask a helper to help them. Một cái người chuyên giúp đỡ. I think because there were no job like that in the West where there are people on motorbikes and then helping people to bring their children to school. There's no job like that in the West. Bên nước ngoài làm cái chuyện đó. Because in other countries, children are allowed to go to school by themselves very early. Ở nước ngoài ta cho trẻ em đến trường học mà dạy trẻ em nó từng học tự thân vận động rất là sớm luôn á. So there were no job like a motorbiker to help children go to school like that. No, there wasn't anyone like that. So okay, so let's go to part 2 and part 3 now. Wait. Thảo got kicked out of the room again. Poor girl. Okay, 36, part 2, 36. 36. There you go. Okay, 36 is wild animals. 37 is promise. Okay, so 36 is about wild animals. Describe a time when you got close to animals. Miêu tả một thời điểm mà các bạn đã tiến lại gần những con động vật. So it's about wild animals, you know. Wild animal, động vật hoang dã đó. You should say where you were, lúc đó bạn ở đâu. What the animals were doing, những con động vật đó lúc đó đang làm gì. Who were with you, ai đã đi với các bạn. Explain what your reaction was. Giải thích cái phản ứng của các bạn khi mà các bạn đến gần mấy con động vật đó như thế nào. And you have part 3 of wild animals. Part 3 nói về những con động vật hoang dã. So what are the differences between animals in zoos and those in the wild? Có những sự khác biệt nào giữa những con động vật ở trong sở thú và những con ở trong thiên nhiên hoang dã? So the wild means nơi hoang dã. In the wild. What are the differences between animals in the zoos and those in the wild? So think about their freedom. Hãy nghĩ về cái sự tự do của chúng. Their freedom. Do they receive enough care and food? Chúng có nhận được đủ sự chăm sóc và lương thực thức ăn hay không? Do they receive medical care? Sự chăm sóc y tế hay không? Think about do they have to face danger? Have to face danger. Có phải đối diện với lại sự nguy hiểm, hiểm nguy mỗi ngày không? Do they have to face danger every day? Think about what else? Think about the fact that they have to get close to humans, to be in contact with humans. Chúng có phải liên tục lại gần con người không? Do they have to be in contact with human every time? Think about their lifespan, vòng đời của chúng. Chúng có sống lâu không? Sống thọ không? Are they living? Do they live very long? Đó là sự khác biệt, vòng đời của chúng. Their lifespan. Khác biệt giữa động vật trong sở thú và trong thiên nhiên hoang dã. The differences between animals in a zoo and those in the wild. What else then? Và nêu ra những cái điều này các bạn phải diễn giải nó ra nữa nha. When you mention those things, you need to explain further. Give some examples. Cho một số ví dụ chẳng hạn. How about the cleanliness? The cleanliness, sự vệ sinh trong sở thú thì sao? How about the cleanliness in the zoos and in the wild? Và trong hoang dã thì sao? Khác biệt gì? Think about the fact that can they mate freely? Chúng có thể giao phối một cách thoải mái không? Có thể giao phối thoải mái hay không? Can they mate freely? Hay là bị ép buộc là phải đi kèm với con kia mới được trong sở thú? Or are they forced to mate? Are they forced to mate in the zoo? Bắt buộc phải giao phối để mà tăng cường để mà nó tăng cái số lượng trong sở thú chẳng hạn. Sometimes animals are forced to mate in the zoo in order to increase their number, gia tăng số lượng của chúng lên. What else then? Okay, let's go to the next question. What is this? Why should the staff in the zoos teach the public about animals? Tại sao nhân viên trong sở thú nên là dạy cho quần chúng biết được về những con động vật? Think about why you should do that. What can be the benefits of that? If the public know more about animals, what could be the benefits?
Đúng luôn.
Nếu mà quần chúng biết được thêm về cách bảo vệ động vật, biết thêm về động vật thì sẽ có lợi gì? Does it help? Does it help in animal conservation? Sự bảo tồn động vật không? Có giúp cho sự bảo tồn động vật không? And it helps to educate people how to take better care of the animals. Nó giúp giáo dục con người ta là care tốt hơn với những con động vật như thế nào. Ok, và không cho nó ăn bậy xong nó chết chẳng hạn. And do not feed them the wrong food. To feed them the right food. Cho nó ăn đồ ăn đúng, chứ không phải cho ăn bậy bạ, nó chết á. So if you feed them the wrong food, they can die. For example, never feed animals chocolate. For example, không bao giờ được cho động vật ăn sô-cô-la nha các bạn, chết á. Hay là không cho chim ăn trái bơ. Don't let birds eat avocado, for example, otherwise they die.
Có thể là không được, có thể là mỗi chó mèo là không được ăn sô cô la nữa.
Cẩn thận nha, nó chết á, tại vì cái chất đó, cái gan nó không thể nào mà nó tiêu hủy được, nó không. Because the liver of dogs and cats, they cannot really digest the substances from chocolate. Theobromine, the theobromine, it's for human we can digest it, yes, but for dogs and cats, no. Không được nha. Don't feed them those things. Những cái nào mà cay cũng không được. Spicy food, no. Không cho động vật ăn đồ ăn cay nha. No spicy food. No tea, không uống trà, cà phê. No tea and coffee. And what else? Dạy cho quần chúng biết về động vật nó thể gia tăng cái sự mà nhận thức. To raise awareness as well.
A spy. A spy.
What's that? To raise awareness. And does it help to protect the animals? All right, next question. Why are people keen on feeding zoo animals? To keen on doing something means they are really into it. They are really into it. Họ thực sự rất là muốn làm cái điều đó, cứ làm hoài luôn á. They're really into it. They're really keen on doing something. Họ rất là chăm trong cái chuyện mà cho nó ăn. Why are people keen on feeding zoos animal? Even though it is forbidden to do so. To forbid someone from doing something. Equal to ban someone from doing something. To prohibit. Cấm đoán á. Cấm đoán ai đó làm gì đó. Tại sao con người ta lại cứ thích là cho động vật trong sở thú ăn, mặc dù là điều này bị cấm? Even though it's forbidden to do so, people still keen on feeding zoo animals. Well, think about the care people can have. The care, the curiosity, sự tò mò. People are very curious. They want to know the animal's reaction. The animal reaction. Con người ta cực kỳ gọi là tò mò và muốn biết cái phản ứng của con động vật nó như thế nào khi mà cho nó ăn chẳng hạn. Well, you can talk about why it is forbidden to feed zoo animal. Mình có nên nói là về tại sao mà người ta cấm không cho thú trong sở thú ăn. Think about the fact that I just told you. Some food are very bad for those animals. Rất nhiều đồ ăn của con người nha, nó rất là tệ đối với lại cái hệ tiêu hóa của mấy con đó luôn đó nha. Like for example, if you feed them, say, fried food, cho chúng nó ăn mấy cái đồ ăn mà chiên nướng đi, it can damage their stomach. Có gây thiệt hại cho cái bụng của nó nha, gây hại cho cái dạ dày của nó nha. Or chocolate, yes. Avocado, yes. Or what else? Có nhiều người cho nó uống Coca-Cola luôn mới ghê á. Some people allow animals to drink Coca-Cola. I was like, what? It's terrible. What else? And because of that, it's forbidden. And why people are forbidden to feed zoo animal? Because those animals are expensive. Những con động vật đó nó mắc tiền chứ phải không đâu. Đâu có thể dễ dàng có được. It's expensive for the zoo to buy those animals, to save those animals from the war. Who said something? Ai nói gì vậy? Okay, it's expensive to buy or to save these animals from the wild or from like illegal sources. Từ những cái nguồn bất hợp pháp á, nhiều khi người ta phải cứu trợ, người ta phải cứu vớt những con đó bằng cách dùng tiền chứ đâu. Of course, people can try to save animals from illegal sources, from poachers, những kẻ săn trộm, những kẻ săn bắn trộm, poachers. And of course, you have to pay money for that. So those animals are expensive. Những con đó nó sẽ mắc tiền phải không đâu? So of course they are expensive. Okay, next question. Let's go to next question. How can the increase, nhân từ, it's a noun. How can the increase of the human population influence, âm đầu, influence wild animals? Làm thế nào một sự gia tăng về dân số con người nó influence, nó ảnh hưởng đến động vật hoang dã? Influence wild animals. Think about deforestation, to build more houses. Phá rừng để trồng, để là xây dựng thêm nhiều nhà. Deforestation, to build more homes, to build more houses. Think about more housing project, nhiều dự án nhà đất. Think about sự mất môi trường sống tự nhiên, the loss of their natural habitat, sự mất mát cái môi trường sống tự nhiên của chúng. Think about pollution, sự ô nhiễm do con người gây ra, the pollution caused by human. Think about human population. When they increase in numbers, they need food, of course, and of course they do a lot of agriculture. The harm of agriculture on wild animals, cái sự gây hại của nền nông nghiệp lên trên những con động vật hoang dã. Think about the fact that they use fertilizer and pesticides. Thuốc trừ sâu, fertilizers là phân hóa học, phân bón. They use those to grow crops, and how can it harm wild animals? Nó hại động vật hoang dã thế nào? Think about the fact that humans, when we increase in number, we need to build roads and bridges. Xây dựng cầu đường thì đương nhiên nó sẽ tách cái cánh rừng ra. It splits the forest into two, and so every year thousands of wild animals die on the roads trying to cross them. Hàng năm có hàng ngàn những con động vật hoang dã nó chết ở trên đường, mấy con đường á, nó ráng tìm cách nó băng qua nó chết thôi, đâm phải xe thôi. Thousands of wild animals die on the roads trying to cross them. Okay, so that may give you some ideas. Đó là một số ý tưởng của thầy á. Now, so try to think of your ideas. Thử nghĩ các của cái riêng bạn đi. Okay, you have 2.5 minutes now. 2 phút rưỡi bắt đầu. Okay, let's start now. Okay. Miss Văn, you first, please. Doctor, can you describe a time when you got close to animals? Careful. Past tense. Cẩn thận quá khứ đơn nha mọi người.
Okay. There was a time when I got close to animals. It was that I visited a zoo.
A zoo?
In Ho Chi Minh City last weekend.
Last weekend? Just, oh wow.
Bị thầy.
Mới last weekend thôi, wow.
Sao nhỉ? It was the only zoo of Ho Chi Minh City, and under a long time of running.
Okay.
Now it was pre-opening.
It was
reopened after a long time under repair, and I took my girlfriend go along with me,
Your nephew. You took your nephew.
Nephew go along with me.
I took my nephew to go along with me.
I really got a great time when I was at a cage, an area.
When I was in the area. When I was in
breast
the area, yes.
nuôi hả thầy? Breastfeeding, breasting.
Sorry, can you say again?
Nó là một cái khu vực nuôi cái con gì đó, thì cái từ nuôi đó là breasting hả thầy?
Raising. When they were raising animals.
Okay.
But raising animal means like you are raising animals in the farm or something like that. But the zoo, they don't raise animals. But the zoo, they keep animals. Zoos keep animals. But farms raise animals. Mình phải nhớ điều đó. The zoo, they only keep the animals. They don't raise them. Raise là giống kiểu nuôi cho nó lớn lên xong làm thịt vậy đó. Keep animals.
Okay. So I did have a great time when I was in the area keep giraffe. Thu qua cổ này giraffe đúng
The
không thầy?
giraffe.
Giraffe.
The
That the
giraffe.
area keep giraffe. And
What was your reaction? And what was your reaction? Quickly, please.
Yeah, it is the first time that I feed the giraffe.
You
with
fed the
carrots.
giraffe? You fed the
Yes.
giraffe?
Fed.
Cho nó ăn luôn hả? Oh.
Đúng rồi, có dịch vụ đó thầy.
Oh, are you allowed to do that? Có được cho phép làm
That
gì không?
was đúng rồi, có dịch vụ đó thầy. That was the first time that I was guided to feed the giraffe with carrots, and I was scared the first time that they were wild animal, and I afraid that they will hurt me, but they kind, and it was so nice, and that I really have a good fun.
Okay, good. Nhưng mà nó hơi bị lâu, 3 phút nha. It's like 3 minutes already. Okay, now so Mr. Nguyen, please. Can you describe a time when you got close to animals? Cẩn thận các bạn, chúng ta có 2 phút cho part 2 rồi nha. You have only 2 minutes for part 2. Have to be careful.
Well, the last time I got close to the animal is when I go to the zoo.
When I went to the zoo.
When I went to the zoo with my friend. I go and travel to the zoo. So I go to there and
I go to there or I go there. I went there. Mới đúng nha. I went there.
I went there and I saw a horse, and it's like kind of
Yes.
it's kind of friendly to the to human, so it's very close to the human, and
Okay.
and it let me and one of them let me to touch it. So I go with my friend, and
I went there with my friend. Trời ơi,
I went there with my friend.
Okay.
And we have many experience when we touch the horse, and
we touched the horses, and when we touched the horses and cẩn thận đọc phát âm kỹ vô. When we touched the horses. Careful pronunciation.
when we touch the horses, we feel very interesting, and we feel very fun, and because like it's a new experience too close to an animal like the horses.
Okay. All right, good. Now, Dương, please, your turn.
So it's when I was young. I've been to my my father friend's house, and so my friend has it's called a lizard.
A
Yeah,
lizard. You
a
mean a
lizard.
big gecko, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, gecko is a kind of
that's the
lizard. It's a big one. Yes.
first I met him. I met that big lizard. I'm quite scared
I
because
was
it's
quite
big.
scared. I was quite
I
scared.
I was quite scared, but after a moment touching, cut, pat him, pat on his head,
What,
I
packing?
quite loved it. Pat thì thầy,
After a moment, what?
pat thì kiểu nó gọi là gì nhỉ?
I don't understand that.
Kiểu xoa đầu à?
Xoa đầu nó hả? After a
Vâng.
moment of petting. Petting. Petting.
Petting.
Moment of petting. Trời ơi,
Petting.
đọc cho kỹ, phát âm kỹ vô.
Vâng.
After a moment of petting. What happened after a moment of petting?
He's quite loved me and I quite loved him too because
Okay.
yeah, that's the first time I met and he's quite friendly, so I really like him.
Okay. Good, good. All right, Miss Thảo, please, your turn to describe a time when you got close to animals. Cố lên.
Yeah.
Try hard.
I remember the first time I get close to animal.
I got close to our animals.
I got close to animal when I visit the zoo with my family. With my family, I see the animal in there.
I saw the animals.
I saw the animal in there. It's really beautiful, and I really curious
I
about
was
them.
really curious, and I was really curious.
I was curious about them, and when I visit in there,
When I got in there, I
got in there, I always ask my parents many questions about them.
many questions about them.
Many questions about them because that is the first time
That was the first time
that was the first time I see them, so I really interested in.
That
and
was the
surprised.
first time I saw them, so
I saw them and I saw in, and I really interested in and surprised when the người chăm sóc chúng á,
when the caretaker, someone who take care of them, it's a caretaker. Người chăm sóc. A caretaker takes care of the animals. A caretaker. Or you can say a zookeeper. Người giữ vườn thú. A zookeeper or a caretaker.
When zookeeper feed many animals and
and what else then? All right. What was your reaction? Go lên. What was your reaction?
My reactions really surprised.
I was surprised and
interesting.
Interested. Cẩn thận.
Interested.
Dùng đúng tính từ. You have to use the right one. Interested, not interesting.
Interested.
Because you explain your feeling. Đang miêu tả cái cảm giác của mình. Trạng thái cảm giác. I was interested. I was excited. I was interested.
Interested and curious many questions about them.
And I had many questions about them.
Have many questions about them.
So let's go to part 3 of wild animals then. So, Miss Thảo, what are the differences between animals in the zoos and those in the wild? What do you think?
Yeah. According to me, I think the big difference between animals in two places is nature. Because animals in the zoos, they often kind and friendly.
Are you sure they are kind and friendly? Không dám chắc đâu nha, hên xui, tùy con. It depends on which animal you're talking about. Some are not kind, not friendly. Giống con cọp chẳng hạn, con cọp nó không có friendly đâu. Lions can be sometimes friendly, but tigers, no way they're not friendly. They're not friendly at all. So it depends on what animal you're talking about. So, Miss One, please, what do you think? What are the differences between animals in the zoos and those in the wild, Miss One?
Because I think the zookeeper
Okay, Miss One next.
can teach them before they are into the zoo. So,
Okay.
but in
So
the
you mean
wild,
they are tamed? The animals are tamed, thuần hóa. The animals are tamed when they're in the zoo, before they come to the zoo already. So, được thuần hóa ngay trước khi nó đến cái zoo luôn rồi.
Yeah. But the animal in the wild,
In the wild.
They also hung dữ đây, hung dữ
They're
là
also very mean. They are also very mean. Hung dữ, xấu tính. They're also very mean.
They also very mean, and they can capture me, and they can capture me when they see them.
Okay, good. Now, Miss One, please. So, what do you think? What are the differences between animals in zoos and those in the wild? Beside from what Miss Thảo has said before, what do you think are the differences? Có khác biệt nào không?
The biggest differences was the animal in the zoo that they was kept in cage.
Sorry?
And the most
important differences, I think,
the most important differences is that animals in the zoo, they were kept in cage.
They were kept in
cages.
They were kept in cages. Yep. Of course, so what could be the problem with that? They do not enjoy their freedom. Không có enjoy được cái sự freedom của nó, cái sự tự do của nó. Okay. Please continue. Continue.
And the animals would not. Okay. Cái gì ta? The animals would be kept safe away from the. Thầy nói gì? Kỹ săn trộm là gì?
From the poachers.
From the poachers. And they
of course they are safe. They are safe in the zoos. They do not have to be afraid of predators. Kẻ săn mồi. They do not have to be afraid of predators. Yeah.
Especially the endangered animals, which was on distinction, will be conserved in the zoo. instead of be killing on the wild.
Yes.
That's all.
Okay. All
Đúng rồi
right.
thầy.
So what do you think, Young? Why should the staff in the zoos teach the public about animals?
Because if you don't teach about animal, the staff don't teach about animal, they don't have any knowledge about that animal, which will
Say again.
harm.
Okay, say again. I do not understand that. Thử lại đi. Try again. Why should the staff in the zoos teach the public about animals?
I think it's for the safety of
For the
themselves.
safety.
Yeah, the safety of themselves.
The safety of
and
themselves.
The safety of themselves and the safety of the public. And so if like teaching about lion, how to
Okay.
keep far from a lion, or how to keep far from a venom snake. Yeah.
Yes. What about them?
How to keep far from the venom snake and how to prevent from them. If they don't teach about if they don't teach the public about the wild animal, it will harm like if they have been bite by a spider, it will
If they are bitten, bite,
Yeah.
bitten. So
They're bitten.
bite, bitten. If they are bitten by a poisonous spider or a venomous spider, you know the difference between venomous and poisonous, right? Chỉ
Yeah.
rồi nha. Venomous means they attack you and you die from their poison. Nó chủ động. And poisonous means you eat it and you die from the poison. It's a passive meaning. Một cái chủ động, cái bị động thôi. Một cái poisonous là mình ăn nó mình chết, nó mang nghĩa bị động. Còn venomous là nó tấn công mình chết vì nọc độc của nó, mang nghĩa chủ động. So if people are bitten by a venomous spider, what could be the problem?
You will die because of the venomous, and if you don't know how to keep trụ với thầy.
I don't understand. Try again.
Kiểu như là gọi là gì nhỉ? Gọi là kiểu trụ cho đến khi mà người ta cứu được ấy hả? Vì nếu mà con nhện
If they have the knowledge about spiders, they can be able to survive until the ambulance arrives.
Yeah.
They can be able to survive until the ambulance arrives. If they have the knowledge, of course. Okay, what else then? That's one good way. That's one good thing. Very good. Nguyen, what do you think? Why should the staff in a zoo teach the public about animals? What other reasons are there? Có lý do nào khác không?
Well, I think the staff in the zoo teach the public about people with
Louder. Ồn hơn. Lớn hơn. Louder, please. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
I think staff in the zoo teach the public about animal can save some people from the dangerous animal like lion, tiger, or some venomous animal like snake. Some poisonous frog in Amazon, and something dangerous about the human life. And it also opened a new world to the people who like to find out more about the world.
World. Nhìn chó kêu đó. World. About the world. Yes, what else then? Kiến thức về động vật nào là độc hại, động vật nào không nên đùa giỡn, the knowledge about which animals are toxic, which animal they should not pet. They should not pet the animals. Which one they should not. All right, so Miss Tan Thao, please. So why are people so keen on feeding zoo animals, even though it is forbidden to do so? What do you think?
Keen on là gì thì em thì
Okay, try again. I can't hear you well. Try again.
keen on là gì thì em nãy
To keen on doing something mean they really want to do it. Họ rất là chăm làm, rất là muốn làm điều đó.
dạ.
Tại sao con người ta cứ rất là chăm vào cái chuyện mà phải cho những con động vật trong sở thú ăn cho bằng được, mặc dù là chuyện nó bị cấm. So why are people keen on feeding zoo animals, even though it is forbidden to do so? What do you think?
I think the human are very curious about animals and they want to see the animal feed when they give
Yes.
a food when they give a food even though it is forbidden, but the human to do so and human also see them tội nghiệp đó thầy, nói sao thầy?
And then people also feel for the animals. And the people also feel bad about the animals. Người ta cảm thấy tệ về những con động vật đó. They people feel bad about the animals. So that's why they think that the animals are starving. Đôi khi con người ta cảm thấy rất tệ những con động vật đó, người ta có luôn nghĩ là sở thú bỏ đói mấy con đó. But in fact, it's not true. People think that the zoos, they starve the animals, but in fact, it's not true. Okay, please continue. Thảo tiếp đi em.
Yeah, because people also feel bad about the animals, so they keen on feeding animals.
Because they might think that, tại vì họ có thể nghĩ rằng
they might think the animal can really
hungry or they were
really
starved.
hungry.
Chúng nó bị bỏ đói. Okay, good. Now, so Mr. Young, please. So, how can the increase of the human population influence wild animals? What do you think?
Can you ask again?
How can the increase of the human population influence wild animals? Làm thế nào sự gia tăng về dân số con người ảnh hưởng động vật hoang dã?
So, as right now, because of human.
Say again?
Because right now the human population are increasing like for about 7 billion people, I think so. We need more place to live, so we need to cut down.
We need more place to live. What is that? Need more place to live. Xuống giọng.
To live.
With your voice. Need more place to live.
More place to live.
Okay.
So we need to chop down the tree for more place, and that will affect the animals like
Effect or affect? Cái nào?
Affect.
It will affect wild animals.
It will affect wild animal habitants and themselves. Like they will die because of because their nature habitat is rare and just only in that forest, maybe. Yeah, and and because of that, more animal dead, so there are more animals rare, and they are starving because of losing the losing their food. Yeah, so that's
I don't
what I
understand
think.
what you just said. Thử lại đi, nó rời rạc quá. It's not coherent. The coherence of what you just said is terrible. Try again. Thử lại câu vừa rồi. Try the last sentence.
Okay. So because of cutting down the tree, the wild animals losing their habitats, which there are
Need to
some.
what? Need to what? Say again. Clearly. Phải rõ ràng.
Chỗ nào ạ?
Cái câu vừa rồi, cái phát âm nó không rõ ràng cho nên không hiểu được. Người ta cũng không hiểu được đâu, thiệt luôn á.
Chị con nói.
Remember, people from England will test your English skills, not Vietnamese. So if I cannot understand you, they cannot either.
Okay.
Nhớ nha, phát âm cho rõ ràng. Try that sentence again. Because of what?
Because of their wild habitats being chopped
Hazikan,
down.
what is that?
Yeah.
Hazikan, what is that?
Habitats.
What? I don't understand that word.
Cái môi trường á hả?
Habitat.
Oh, habitat.
A natural habitat.
Yes,
Rồi, đọc sai.
the natural habitats, which there are some rare habitats have their own rare food, so they get starved.
They get starved. Very good. Okay. So what do you think, Miss Van? How can the increase of the human population influence wild animals? What do you think? Yes. Think about what I just said before. Pollution, deforestation, the loss of natural habitat, something like that. It's not too hard.
I think that the overpopulation have a negative impact on the wild animal habitat. The first thing that about the gọi là gì ta? Cái when there are more people that they have to cut down trees and destroy forests make homes, and then thousands of wild animals that lose
their
homes instead. And đúng rồi.
Yes.
Thì thứ hai là about the pollution that like water pollution that it can affect the water that.
Of course, it can affect the water. There are water, and water is important for life.
And
think about the quality of the water, and if wild animal consume it, they die.
You can see in the.
Hãy suy nghĩ về cái chuỗi thức ăn đó. Think about
cuối biển đó thầy gọi là gì ta?
Say again?
Cửa nguồn không phải.
Think about thượng nguồn hạ nguồn ấy, like
hạ nguồn là cái gì trời?
I forgot that word.
Down hả? At the end of
the river. Just say at the end of the river.
You can see at the end of the river.
The start of the river. ở lúc đầu và lúc cuối của cái dòng sông. At the end, the start of the river. I don't
There are
remember what the word
many
is, but
there are many household rubbish
okay.
floating on the surface. So does it mean that the water is polluted severely and the fish they will gọi gì thầy, gọi là the, trời ơi,
The fish will die. The fish will die because of the bad quality of the water. Yeah? No.
and
Okay, that's good enough. Young, what do you think? So Miss Vân just said about the water quality. If it's bad, it can kill off the fish. So what could be the problem of that? How could it influence the other animals in the food chain? Nó ảnh hưởng thế nào với những con động vật khác trong cái chuỗi thức ăn? Think about it.
I remember there's one.
Of course you remember, this is something taught in biology. Cái này là một cái dạy trong môn sinh học rồi mà.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, but just sometimes I don't remember it. So let me remember. So
If the fish
because
die, whoever eat the fish will be affected heavily as well.
Yeah, because of the fish die, but by some chemical.
Chemical là sao em?
Chemicals will affect with the
Effect with what?
affect the human
Will affect.
Will affect the animals, which
Will affect the animals,
eat up
yes.
like how can I say, bears, tigers. I don't know, no tigers. Let me. Yeah, tigers. Maybe some another kind of animals. And the last one is human, which eat them and being will affect a lot, like being sometimes the cancer.
Trời, sao xài mấy cái từ đó sai hoài vậy Dương? Sao lên 7 chấm đây? You use those words wrongly. How could you get to band 7? Really? Try your best. Come on. Okay, now let's move on to another topic. That is 37. 37, it's about making promise. Số 37 nó nói về cái chuyện mà hứa hẹn. So 37, describe a time when you made a promise to someone. Miêu tả một thời điểm mà các bạn đã hứa ai đó cái gì đó. Made a promise to someone. You should say what the promise was. Cái lời hứa đó là lời hứa gì vậy? To whom you made it. Bạn hứa đó với ai vậy? Whether it was easy or difficult to keep the promise. Liệu có dễ hay khó để giữ cái lời hứa đó hay không? Explain why you made it. Giải thích tại sao bạn lại bạn lại tạo cái lời hứa đó. Hứa thật nhiều và hứa thật nhiều. It's like it's like the song. Just promise a lot and then fail to keep the promises a lot. Okay, let's go to part 3 of promise then. What kinds of promises do people often make? Con người ta thường hứa hẹn những cái loại lời hứa như thế nào? Think about promise to whom? Promises to children, to co-workers, to employers or bosses. Hứa với ông chủ, hứa với người là lao động, hứa với những người đồng nghiệp khác, hứa với trẻ nhỏ. Promises to friends, to lovers and friends and lovers. Yes, sorry, it's just my alarm clock. These are promises, okay? But the question is, what kind of promises do people often make? You should think about who they make the promise to. Cái đối tượng là họ make the promise với ai? Who they make the promise to? And so, what kind of promise? Ví dụ như là tôi hứa là tôi sẽ làm bài tập đầy đủ. Tôi hứa là tôi sẽ viết bài trước lúc Mr. John yêu cầu sửa bài. I promised to myself that I would complete the exercise, the writing task. Something like that. What kind of promises? Lời hứa về tình yêu. It's promises about love. Promises about love, about work, about self-improvement. Về sự cải thiện cá nhân. Tôi hứa là tôi sẽ đi gym. Tôi hứa tôi sẽ giảm cân. I promise I will go to the gym. I will lose weight. I promise to the doctor I will eat better. Tôi hứa với bác sĩ tôi sẽ ăn tốt hơn. Nghe quen không? Does it sound familiar to you? People promise a lot these days. What kind of promises do people often make? Do
Written
parents in
deadline.
Vietnam make promises to their children? Những cha mẹ ở Việt Nam có hứa hẹn với trẻ nhỏ của họ không? Con ăn hết này đi xong rồi má cho con tiền. Just finish the bowl, finish the food, and then I'll give you money. That's what Vietnamese parents often do.
What?
Hứa là con
You
ăn
can-
hết cái tô này đi xong mà má cho con tiền chẳng hạn.
Được đưa tiền luôn đấy hả?
Yeah, some parents are like that. If the child doesn't eat that much. Một số cha mẹ Việt Nam có thói quen là hay ép ăn á, hay rơi vào cạm bẫy đó đó. A lot of parents in Vietnam, they try to force feed, ép ăn. They try to force feed their children, and if their children do not eat that much, they try to promise that if the child eat more, they get more money. It's like that. Or if the child succeed in an exam, they get money. Something like that. Con thi đậu, má cho con tiền. Something like that. Cho con iPhone chẳng hạn. Something like that. Well, there's a lot of promises. What other promises? Ba má hứa sẽ về đúng giờ với con. Yeah, sometimes parents promise that they would be home in time. They would be home on time. But a lot of the time, they do not keep their promise. And the child has to wait. Their children have to wait a long time. What else? Ba má hứa sẽ cho con cái này vào sinh nhật con cơ mà. Parents, they often promise on the birthday of their children, they would give them a gift. But then, they decided to give them a different gift. And that is a disappointment. Thường là cho món quà khác mà đứa trẻ nó không có cần. Nó sẽ gây ra một cái sự mà gọi là thất vọng lớn của cha mẹ. It will cause a disappointment, and that's not good. What else? Nhiều khi hứa chỉ để hứa thôi. Sometimes they promise just for the sake of it. Hứa chỉ để hứa cho chơi thôi. They promise just for the sake of it. Hứa chỉ để cho cái bản chất của sự là hứa là để hứa thôi. Hứa cho chơi thôi. Chứ chẳng phải để giữ lời hứa đâu. Sometimes they promise just for the sake of it, and they do not intend to keep the promise. Không có dự định là giữ lời hứa đâu. Sometimes they are like that. Next question. Do children keep their promises? Trẻ nhỏ có giữ lời hứa của chúng không? Well, con hứa con sẽ ngoan cơ mà. Tại sao con lại đánh bạn? Tại sao con lại làm này làm kia? Like a lot of children, they promise to behave well. They promise to do their homework. Sometimes children, they promise to do something good, but they don't do. Promise to exercise daily. Hứa là sẽ luyện tập thể thao hàng ngày. Sometimes they promise that, but they don't keep their promises to themselves. Đôi khi chúng hứa với bản thân chúng luôn nha. They do not have to promise to anyone, but sometimes they promise to themselves, and they do not keep it. Or sometimes children, they learn from their parents, and they promise just for the sake of it. Đôi khi trẻ nhỏ nó học từ ba má nó cứ promise và nó không giữ lời hứa. Okay, when you want to go out? Okay, you can go now. Nhớ coi là video. Remember to watch the video. Alright. Why do some people fail to keep their promises? Tại sao một số người họ là thất bại trong chuyện giữ lời hứa của họ? Think about the fact that they think very lightly. They think very lightly of promises. Họ suy nghĩ rất là nhẹ nhàng lời hứa, như hứa thoảng qua thôi. They think very lightly. Nghĩ rất là nhẹ nhàng về những lời hứa. They think very lightly of promises. And they tend to promise a lot, but they do not keep it. Think about the fact that people promise in order to get out of trouble. Đôi khi con người ta hứa hẹn để mà đừng có bị gặp rắc rối. Like for example, when their children cry in the supermarket or they throw a tantrum, lăn ra ăn vạ. Khi mà con trẻ nó lăn ra ăn vạ trong siêu thị chẳng hạn. When children throw a tantrum in a supermarket, for example, parents often make promises. They will give the child this one and that one, an object or something, just to get out of trouble. Thì hứa hẹn là ba mẹ sẽ cho con cái này, cho con cái kia, con chỉ cần nín thôi, nín đi. Xong rồi cùng thì đương nhiên là nó sẽ nín và cha mẹ sẽ không có gặp rắc rối ở siêu thị, không bị đuổi ra chẳng hạn. To get out of trouble, but of course they will never keep that promise, and that is not a good way to educate a child. Đó không phải cách tốt để mà giáo dục trẻ nhỏ. So if the child throw a tantrum, the child should get out of the supermarket. The parent should get out of the supermarket too. Nếu mà trẻ lăn ra ăn vạ thì cả hai bên, cha mẹ lẫn trẻ con đều phải ra khỏi siêu thị đó hết, để tránh làm phiền người khác. Không có give in. They should not give in. Do not give in. Đừng có là những kiểu mà chiều theo. But the question asks, why do some people fail to keep their promises? You have to think of other reasons too. Có thể là vì lý do gì nữa cơ? Why do some people promise a lot? Tại sao một số người họ hứa hẹn rất nhiều? Maybe they promise a lot in order to keep a good relationship. Để giữ cái mối quan hệ tốt, nhiều khi con người ta hứa hẹn rất nhiều nha các bạn. Để mà làm sao cho cái người ta cảm thấy tốt á. So in order to make the other person feel good because of the promise. Đôi khi giữ mối quan hệ con người ta cũng nói dối và hứa hẹn nhiều lắm. So people promise a lot when they want to keep a good relationship, but what other reasons? Còn lý do nào khác không mọi người nghĩ xem? Okay, you have 2.5 minutes to think about this one. 2 phút rưỡi bắt đầu. Okay, time to describe a time you made a promise to someone. Now, Mr. Dương, please. You first.
Okay, so as a secondary school, I make a promise with my best friend that I will give back her money because I owe her about. I remember, but every time eating, she buy everything for me, but I haven't paid it, so I owe her a lot. I think it's about 100.
You owe her a lot. Very good.
Owe her. And
Quickly, nhanh lên. Come on, you have 2 minutes only.
So I have given for about until now. I haven't buy her anything.
I haven't bought anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm quite a little bit sad. I'm quite a little bit sad, but yeah, I lost that promise already. I haven't kept it.
So was it an easy or difficult to keep?
I think it's half because every
It's not
time
so
I
easy
saw,
to keep, but it's not difficult either. So it's half-half, yeah.
yeah. So because I, because every time I met her, my pocket
Empty.
is empty.
Poor you. Okay, now, so why you have to made it? Why you made that promise? I still don't understand why you made that promise to her.
Oh, okay. So I made it because I owe her a lot, and I think sometimes I feel pay for her because I haven't give her back my money.
You haven't given her back anything. Good. Now, Miss Thanh please, can you describe a time you made a promise to someone?
Yeah. I used to make a promise to my young brother when I work in the coffee shop. I will claim a salary in the first month.
If I receive, when I
claim
receive my first month's salary,
I
when I received my first month salary, I will something.
When I receive my first month salary, I will take him to eat and well. Since I am not I am not keep up a promise to my young brother because in the first month I receive salary, um I have been waste amount of money in study in the extra class, so I don't have đủ tiền á thầy.
I don't have enough money. So
So
I
I
didn't
don't
have
have
enough money. So I didn't have enough money. Quickly.
So I
Giờ
didn't
1 phút rồi đó. It's 1 minute
I
already.
didn't have enough money, and I feel it's so difficult to keep promise, and I think I will think before I told my brother.
Okay. Was it a difficult or easy promise to keep, and why you made it? Tập trung vào mấy ý đó, please. Focus on what you should say here.
Yeah. It was difficult to keep a promise because
And you shouldn't
in that time
make that promise.
I thought really simply, and I not think I can act I can thực hiện
Sorry?
cái việc đó, giống kiểu
I can carry it out. I can keep a promise. I can carry it out. To carry out something. Thực hiện điều gì đó.
I can carry out and
Nhớ về nhà luyện tập thêm nha. Trời ơi, coi lại video luyện tập thêm lại nha. Trời ơi. You need to practice more. Watch the video again and try to answer this question again. Alright. Now, Miss Văn, please. Can you describe a time you made a promise to someone?
There was a time that I made a promise to my colleagues.
Colleagues, right?
Yes. And that was the time that she saw I wear a necklace.
Sorry, I wear
A necklace.
a necklace.
A necklace. It was quite beautiful and gọi là đang cập nhật xu hướng rồi. And trendy now.
It
and
was in
hygienic
fashion, and it was in fashion.
and
Đang hợp
in
thời
fashion
trang. Was in
at that
fashion.
time. And she liked it, and she asked me to buy it for her. Mm, and I made a promise, but it was quite difficult for me to arrange my schedule because I couldn't purchase the necklace online because it was just sold on the local fair, which was which took place just only weekends.
Which took place only in the weekend. Yes.
And I was so busy at that time, and so I missed the promise few times. That about a month later that I could complete gọi là gì hả? Buy the necklace and complete that
2 phút rưỡi.
promise.
It's like 2.5 minutes already. Okay. So, Miss Van, please, what kind of promises do people often make?
Có nhiều loại
Có nhiều
là hứa
loại
thôi
là
thầy.
hứa nào? Con
Có nhiều
thường
loại.
hứa hẹn những cái loại như thế nào? Yeah.
Cái loại
What
này
kind of promises do people
hứa
often
thôi
make?
chứ. I don't know what. There are many kinds of promise.
Yes, there are many kinds of promises. Can you mention? Yeah, I already explained to you. Like, what kind of promises do people often make? Like, promise to who? Promises to whom? Hứa với ai? Let's start from there. Promises to whom? Mr. Young, can you answer this question? What kinds of promises do people often make?
I think everybody you can make a promise with.
Say again?
I think everybody you can make a promise with. But yeah, but usually there will make promise with trustworthy people and
Với những người mà
avoid
đáng tin, with trustworthy people. Okay.
because they have trust them already, have a big trust of them already, and they usually don't make promise with a scammer.
Of course, you
the
do
one-
not make promises with strangers or scammers.
Yeah,
If you know they are scammers, you do not promise anything.
yeah, okay.
Biết là nó đi lừa thì còn promise cái gì trời. You do not make promises with scammers, no. Yes, continue please. So, Ms. Thảo, what do you think? Do parents in Vietnam make promises to their children?
Yeah, I think parents in Vietnam make promise to their children. It occurs anytime, anywhere, when the parents need to have or want to their children carry out uh, something such as such as they want my children feed fast feed fast eat uh, and they want and they want children and they want my your children
No, my
study.
children, no. They want their children. Họ muốn trẻ con của họ. They want their children to...
And they want to their children to study many times, not playing a game.
To study more and not to play. To study
play
more
game.
and not to play.
Not play the game. Not playing
Not play
games
games.
because
Okay.
it's so hard. Because they think playing more.
Before they think playing more games is not good for them.
Playing more game is not good for them. But the parents, the parents often promises, not keep, but they not keep their promises. Um, so often their children miss, miss the mất niềm tin đó thầy,
They
mistrust.
lose faith. Sometimes they lose faith in their parents. Chúng mất niềm tin vào cha mẹ. They lose faith in their parents. And that
They
can be
lose-
very bad, incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Mất
They lose-
niềm tin vào cha mẹ là một cái điều cực kỳ tệ hại luôn á. It's incredibly bad.
They lose faith with my children, and it's a bad influence in their children.
Yes, and a bad influence in their development. Yes, true. Young, please. So why do some people fail to keep their promises? What do you think?
I think mostly because after they promise, they cannot do that promise anymore. So they cannot keep the promise. Like they promise about money, so they cannot. I actually 90% they cannot keep it because every time you ask about that promise, they will say that they are
Promises about money. People
in their
never really
pocket,
keep
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Ở Việt Nam là con người ta thường xuyên hỏi về vụ mượn tiền, xong rồi promise cho lắm vô không bao giờ làm. In Vietnam, people often promise when they borrow money from people. Very often they do that. They never keep it.
I promise about the time doing deadline.
The time to do deadline, true.
So they easily cannot keep it. Yeah,
Of
I
course they
think
cannot
so.
keep it. What else then?
I think the last one is promise about some things not really happen, like love.
Oh, promises about love. I will love you until eternity. Anh sẽ yêu em đến tận cùng của thời gian. Yeah, I will love you until the end of eternity. Something like that. Until the end of time or eternity. I love you until the end of time. Đến lúc tận cùng của thời gian. But after a few years they break up. Sau vài năm hoặc là vài tháng thôi break up, vài tuần. Anyway, so Miss Văn, why do some people promise a lot? What do you think? Hứa để có niềm tin. Hứa đảm bảo đầu ra để có niềm tin. People promise a lot to build some faith. To build up some faith. Để mà xây dựng một số niềm tin, to build up some faith, even though it can be sometimes the faith is not true. Okay, Miss Văn, are you there? Hello. Hình như Miss Văn bận rồi đó. Dương, can you? Why do some people promise a lot then?
I think using the faith, maybe. I think maybe for the advantage of that promise.
Okay.
Like trade for 1-1. Or maybe they just promise and they cannot keep it, simply like that.
Well, some people their characteristic, their personality is like that. They like to promise a lot but never keep it. Một số người tính cách người ta dạy rồi. Những người nói nhiều thường là những người hứa nhiều. Like the people who talks a lot are actually the one who promise a lot too. Đặc biệt là những bạn làm sales. People who do sales, they promise a lot to the customer but never keep it anyway. Anyway, so any idea, Miss Thảo? Why do some people promise a lot?
Yeah, I think I think some people promise a lot. It human often scam or cheat anyone because
Exactly. People who scam or cheat on people, they often promise a lot. Những người mà lừa đảo người khác, người ta hay hứa hẹn rất nhiều. Very good.
and they want to someone carry
To gain
out
trust.
Or help that people anything or something they want, such as they want to someone invest in your fields. They will talk about in the future.
Okay.
They will talk about in the future can earn a lot of money, and since
Okay.
so
Anything else then? Đến cái lúc mà em bị tắc rồi đó, giống như là em không thể nào mà em nặng ra từng từ một, nó sẽ làm cái câu nó chẳng hiểu gì cả. There will be a time when you have to squeeze out every words like that, and then it will not help you. Nó sẽ không giúp cho quá trình học tiếng Anh của em đâu. Cái lúc mà mình phải nặng ra từng từ như vậy, nó không có giúp được gì đâu nha mọi người. So I think we should stop here. Okay, I think we should stop here now and try to practice more at home. Okay, ráng cố gắng luyện tập thêm ở nhà nha các bạn. Okay, let's stop here now. Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh để đăng ký kênh đó, để mà các bạn có thể được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.